Okay, so before we talked about major thirds and minor thirds, and before that, seconds. Today we're going to talk about the perfect fourth and the perfect fifth. So you need to understand that when we talk about a fourth and a fifth, there is no major fourth, there is no major fifth, there is no minor fourth, there is no minor fifth. It's just labeled as perfect fourth and perfect fifth. You can have a diminished fourth, a diminished fifth, or an augmented fourth or an augmented fifth, but there is no major or minor. So what we're going to do today, since we haven't dove into diminished and augmented intervals in any of the others, we didn't discuss it in the seconds or thirds. So I'm not going to discuss those yet with the fourths and fifths. So all you have to focus on is how many half steps it is for a perfect fourth and how many half steps it is for a perfect fifth. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So your perfect fourth is made up of 5 half steps. And you'll see that right here in this example from C to F. So remember, we start as 0 when we count our half steps for the specific interval. So we have 0 for the C, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when we get to 5, we're on our F. So C to F is 5 half steps. Also, we need to keep in mind, we've been counting the half steps, but don't forget that to get the 4, you do count the first one, C, D, E, and F. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's 4 in the generic sense. But then when we kind of add our half steps, that's how we get 5. And the reason we still have to do that is because if we did discuss the diminished and augmented intervals, obviously it would make a difference in how many half steps those are. So just remember that the perfect fourth is 5 half steps. And then the perfect fifth is 7 half steps. Okay, so that's our differences for today. Perfect fourth, 5 half steps. Perfect fifth, 7 half steps. Okay, and I want you to get in the habit of counting those. Don't just look at this and say, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a fifth, or 1, 2, 3, 4 if it was an F, C to F. Okay, still get in the habit of counting these half steps, because if you don't, then when we do discuss the diminished and augmented intervals, then you're not going to be in that habit. Okay, so remember 5 half steps for 4, 7 half steps for 5, and make sure you count them out every single time. All right. You will have an exercise for that. And again, utilize your pop-up piano for that so that you can get used to how that works. So like C to F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it was C to G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My little pointer in my counting out loud didn't match up there for a second. Okay, so 5 and 7. 5 half steps is a 4. 7 half steps is a fifth. Okay, just keep that in mind and make sure that you count them out. All right, thank you guys.